From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for April 21st, 2016. In just a moment, we're going to be taking a look at the GBPUSD, Great British Pound versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. But first, I want to recap a couple of the trade suggestions made over the past few days. First off, starting here on the USDCHF, the US dollar versus the Swiss Franc. We've been studying this falling trend channel or trend range, if you will, here on the daily time frame for quite some time. We can see the two red trend lines on the daily time frame, the top one and the bottom one. Most importantly is that we're coming off the bottom of that trend channel in recent weeks. We can see over the past history of this trend channel, a test of the bottom at the top left-hand corner. Test of the bottom took a rally all the way back up into the 1.0200s. Then it took a fall back down to the bottom of the channel and then back up into the 1.0s. And then we came back down over the past couple of weeks and challenging the bottom of the channel. And now we're rising off of there. I think what's interesting over the past couple of days is that, zooming it in here, we see a low and now a higher low and a higher high. That's what we're going to continue to focus our efforts on here in the live trade room and in our daily analysis, is the rising pattern that we're seeing now along this blue trend line, because history shows us that it could take a turn all the way back up towards the top of the range. So that's what we're trading. We actually took a buy on the dip to support into the pink shaded area, the 9600 level. You can see the buy going down at 9605, currently sitting about 95 pips of profit. We had a little bit more than that a little while ago when it hit up there into the 9720 level, but coming back for us a little bit. I have locked in with my stop loss 40 pips of profit on the trade, and I've closed a majority. I've closed about 75% of the trade and locked in with the stop loss with 40 pips of profit. So all in all, it's a profitable trade. Can't lose. I would like to see if we could see some further movement higher. Of course, ECB today could be very interesting. In about 35 minutes from the recording of this video, we have the ECB press conference. If it's in any way negative for the euro, we could see this take a turn higher on the US franc, pushing through the 97.50 level. The yellow shaded area will start our journey towards the top of the range. Any positive movement for the euro could lead to a fall or slide here on the US franc, and we'll likely see our stop loss taken out with profit, of course, but take it out as it goes back down. Zoom it down to the 4-hour time frame, and again, I want to be sure that you understand I'm not using the trade manager here. I've just taken a hard stop loss and put it at plus 40 pips right underneath the blue shaded area, because I want to see that blue zone hold as support. Just like it held as resistance here, I want to see it hold as support here. So that's what I'm looking for today, a hold of support. We don't want it to break underneath the blue shaded area because that's where our stop loss is currently. Like to see some positive movement. A break above 97.50 continues the upward journey. Currently, of course, finding resistance right there at the yellow shaded area. Another trade that we've been following is the USDJPY. We've been following this trend pattern inside the black box for several days now. Took a trade a couple of weeks ago here into the orange shaded area, profited up towards the purple zone. Couple of days ago, taking another buy here. There's the buy going down here at the bottom. 109 was the buy price. We're at 73 pips of profit at the current moment. Seeing a little bit more than that, not much more, a little bit more than that here, but come back down towards the 109.65 level. I think what's very interesting here is that the current market right here at the top right hand side, sitting on top of 109.65, which was this last resistance. So I think as long as it sits on top of that last resistance, 109.65, I'm happy to stay in this trade because I'm looking for the next surge higher as long as it stays above 109.65. Any push back underneath that, and that's specifically the bottom of the purple shaded area, we could be looking for a fall back down. So very interesting. The last several hours sitting on top of 109.65, our last resistance high. If it takes another surge higher, we could even see this back into the mid 110s or even all the way back up towards 111. So I'm still using the trade manager here. I've actually adjusted it a little bit, adjusted the parameters for the trade manager, the stop loss movement and the profit targets. So at least at this current point, the stop loss is plus 15 pips. If it goes up above 100 pips of profit, it'll move the stop loss to 30 pips locked in. If it goes any further than that, I have another move stop to take it into 50 pips of profit beyond there. So we'll discuss that in the live trade room later on today. All right, moving on to the GBP USD, Great British Pound, US dollar. You can see that this currency pair has been primarily stuck in a range here. We've been discussing it really all week long. The black box is here on the chart. Let's zoom it in one time. You see, actually, let's zoom it in, take this trade window off, and I'm actually going to pull it over just a touch so we can see the red circle on the left, resistance at the red circle. The blue circle, or blue oval, where we saw resistance. This blue circle here, where we see resistance. This green, somewhat of a circle here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit more like a circle. There it is there. That green circle, resistance in there. So we can see resistance, 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 resistance. Guess where we are today? Right there at the 143.95, 14400 level as resistance again today. So history has shown us resistance. It's actually even shown us support there. If you look back here, didn't mean to grab that. If you look back here where the black X is, there's support. So this is a really significant major decision zone, resistance and support, but decision zone for the market. If it's below it, it finds resistance and goes back down. If it breaks above it, we look for a continuation higher, probably all the way back up into the 145 level. So this is an aggressive stance, I know, but I definitely think that this becomes an opportunity for us today. If it stays underneath the 4,400 level, this could produce a fall back down. We've seen history shown that back in time. A fall back down takes it back down here towards this green shaded area down here into the mid 1.4200. So resistance here, as we've seen in history, takes it back down to the green zone. Now, obviously, it's been quite bullish over the past few days, so we definitely need to make note of that. A breakout above that same resistance level, breaking, opening, and closing above there, we look for it to continue that upside pressure towards the orange shaded area all the way up here. So that's what I'm looking for today. A more aggressive stance, I think going short and selling here into and underneath the 4,400 level becomes an opportunity to look for the slide lower here for the GBP USD today. A breakout, that's the risk on the trade, is that it goes back higher. At least at this current point, I think it's better off going short. The risk reward wise is a better idea to go short right now. So if it finds resistance here, this is the 4-hour time frame, we'll look for it to go down. I've actually gone ahead and taken a small sell here just in case the market finds resistance there again and starts going back down. Again, take a look back to the left-hand side where the green circle is, and you can see the congestion and resistance into that area. Of course, stop losses would be above that area, and of course somewhere up here into the 4430s, 4440s becomes your stop loss, because if it breaks above the blue zone, of course we already know if it breaks above there we don't want to stay in it too long. So what I'd like to see is either it holds here as resistance and starts going back to the green zone and becomes profit on the current small sell that I've taken, or an open and close finally above the blue shaded area, which it didn't do the last time. No open and close above it on the 4-hour. If it opens and closes above here, then we may shift our position back to the buy side and look for a turn higher for the pound dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.